Update. Thanks for the overwhelming support on this thread, guys. My boyfriend had an appointment with a doctor today that referred him to another doctor to have some tests done and a mental health assessment. I'm very excited to support him through this journey, and I'm thankful for the insight that some Redditors have provided me. My boyfriend spent thousands of dollars to come visit me back in May, and our relationship is very committed and serious. Leaving him over something like this just isn't even remotely an option to me. Men have their own issues and are frequently misunderstood by the general public, and I'm very proud of my boyfriend for stepping up and seeking help for this. TLDR, BF has a high and intricate sex drive, but erectile issues, which has resulted in a really complex sexual relationship. I, 22F, met my boyfriend, 25 meters, online a while ago, and we clicked really well in every other aspect except sexually. He has a really high sex drive and recently overcame a porn addiction that consumed a lot of his later teen years/early 20s. Because of his high sex drive, we had a lot of phone sex after we started dating, but before we met, in which he built this idea in my mind of what he was like in bed, among other things. He had several intense fantasies that he showed me, and because I enjoyed making him happy sexually, I helped indulge in those fantasies. He lives on the other side of the world, and we finally met up in May. He never ever mentioned to me having previous erectile issues, ever, despite him being a hypersexual person. To much of my surprise, he quite literally couldn't get hard, or if he could, he couldn't stay hard whilst we would hook up. It was, and is, really tough for me. I questioned whether he was actually attracted to me. He assured me that it wasn't my fault, and we had a rocky few days where he admitted that he had been experiencing erectile issues for the last few years but kept avoiding the subject because he didn't want to believe there was something wrong. It's difficult because I've watched him get himself off so many times. He can stay hard and orgasm with ease over the phone or even on video calls. I couldn't understand what it was about us that had him go soft every time I put him in my mouth or tried to put him inside of me. He stayed with me for an entire month, and we only had successful proper sex once, but he went soft after 5 or so minutes. I don't get turned on much by his fantasies, and I felt sad that fantasies were the only way I could get him off. I just want to have normal sex like a normal couple. I fear that due to prolonged porn exposure, he has lost the ability to find typical sex attractive. After he left to return back to his country, he told me he would book an appointment with a sex therapist to try and resolve this issue. I told him I didn't want to have phone sex with him anymore because I felt like having phone sex with him really negatively affected my expectations of him and also affected his degree of excitement to do sexual things with me. Does anyone have any tips or ideas? I feel I'm missing such an important part of our relationship. I'm really worried it won't ever get better. Edit. He doesn't watch porn anymore. I should have clarified this. He hasn't watched porn since long before I met him, and the topic makes him really uncomfortable because it was a shameful part of his life. My boyfriend is a really kind and generous person with a beautiful heart, and outside of sex, there are zero faults with our relationship. I don't expect people to understand our relationship. Just know from my word that the problem is purely about helping him heal from a porn addiction and have a healthier sex life. Some of these comments are fitting him into a box, and I understand why people think this, but it's just not the case. He doesn't have death grip and he's not unattracted to me. He says that knowing he may get soft is all he can think about when he's trying to have sex, and this brings him immense anxiety which doesn't help him being able to stay hard. I've always had a lot of messages from randoms about him not being able to make me come, which is incorrect. He got me off via oral sex many times. He always cared about my pleasure. He can make himself come by jacking off in front of me, and when we were together in person this is usually how we would mess around together. The issue is purely the physical act of sex. My first boyfriend had this issue, and it was detrimental to our sex life. Turns out he was struggling with low testosterone and needed medication. Has your boyfriend touched base with a provider? When I was younger and on Paxil, early SSRI, I used ED medication to help with my erection. If his health is okay, it might be worth trying. He could also try a C*** ring if he is able to get erect. The anxiety is purely the factor here. His performance anxiety might be something he needs to get help from elsewhere. Also, how do you respond to him getting soft? I do not blame you for getting disappointed/hurt, but when you show this, it will only add on to the pile of anxiety. Best thing to do is not forcing to have sex, as in setting dates for when you are going to have sex. Live in the moment. Even if he can't get erected, a good makeout session can bring pleasure as well. If it happens that he gets soft or you don't get wet, take some time for cuddling and support each other. This is what has worked for me. Out of all comments, this was the most helpful. Thank you for not telling me to just leave him or making him out to be a bad person. More than just the porn issue, honestly he really needs to wean himself off vigorous high friction masturbation. Lube should be used, as well as a lighter grip and slower motion, and learning to enjoy the moment, rather than some intense ridiculous porn scenario. Performance anxiety could definitely also be a factor. Intense and extreme fantasies were the only way I could get him off. He needs to limit watching porn, and maybe go to the doctor. He does not need to go to the doctor. If he stops watching porn for a couple of months, will bring him back to normal. I don't believe he overcame his porn addiction. This is a problem of men that are deep into it. If he stopped watching porn, the problem might just be that he is new to sex or new to sex with you. It took me more than a month to just get hard in an intimate situation with my GF. She accepted that, and we just had fun together until my body learned how to respond to actual sex. His shame could be compounding the problem. Anxiety and other negative feelings kill boners. My advice would be to just enjoy each other's company, take it slow and without pressure, and have fun in bed without focusing on the erection or orgasm. Eventually those things will come on their own. Good luck carrot. That's the thing, he has stopped watching porn 4 years now. As a guy who had and still has an extremely high interaction with porn, I'm guessing performance anxiety. Much like the top commenter said, it comes back to haunt me with every new partner, because this person matters, because this person is real, and they care about me, and now I get to show/convince them that I can be all the things they need and want me to be. *LOOKSDOWN*. What's that, lassie? You don't wanna go down the well. And every partner has worried for a while that I wasn't actually attracted to them, that there was something wrong with them. Equals, now I feel awful because I've hurt the person I care for and made them insecure. Okay, now it's more important than ever to penis fleeing into the distance, not to be seen again at IGHT*. He is most likely just anxious, overwhelmed and now a little embarrassed. My advice is as follows. 1. Be patient and kind. 2. Less masturbation for him. 3. Lube when he does. 4. Being watched and consumed in person can be stressful. Try blindfolding him to start, or even fully restrained. Losing control and losing his need to control or influence the situation may help a lot. Good luck. This is a porn and jacking it problem, not a you problem. A friend of mine had this happen to her and her boyfriend. They tried sensory deprivation, soft blindfold, no lights, little sound, on him during intimate moments including just massage. After a few weeks it really helped with his anxiety performance. She said he explained it like he was actively partitioning and blocking out inner thoughts and focusing solely on how her skin and body felt against him and the sounds they would make naturally. He did experience intrusive thoughts at first, but she would just switch between massage and foreplay until he either tapped out or was feeling the vibe again. Not sure if this will help you, but there are lots of different solutions to explore, so don't give up. We'll definitely try this, thanks. Sounds like he uses a death grip when watching porn, so when he actually has sex, it's nothing like tightly grabbing your D*** and jerking it. Lol, it's most likely without lube, so it's tight friction, which isn't reality during real sex. Sorry for the graphic description lol, but that's my guess honestly. A girl isn't inhumanely tight and dry like a hand is, and he's not getting enough stimulation to stay hard in you. Also nerves may be a big part, but he said this has been an issue for a while, so I'm gonna say death grip seems pretty clear here. It's nothing to do with you. He'll struggle with it with any girl he's with until he stops using that technique during masturbation or just stopping altogether. Does that means it's okay to jerk, but not okay to grab the asterisk 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 tight? My English doesn't good, so I'm not sure whether my understanding is correct. Most of the time this problem can be solved if the man stops watching porn and cuts down on masturbating. Your taking is very personal and that's very understandable coming from someone who doesn't have a penis. But the truth is he could be extremely attracted to you and still not be able to get an erection. The good news, there are lots of remedies and he should start exploring and working on as many as he can. It's embarrassing for him and upsetting for you and making you conflicted, just as it is him. It's not as complicated as it may seem though. Hang in there and hopefully he's working on getting it sorted out. It sounds like performance anxiety, and it can happen when a guy's trying to have sex with a woman he really likes, is very attracted to and wants to make a big impression on. Unfortunately that anxiety leads to a devastating feeling for both and the perspectives on the truth are usually opposite. It sounds like a psychological issue. Next time you're together, start getting intimate, but take sex off the table. This way he won't worry about staying erect and just be in the moment messing around with you. Then when he feels comfortable enough you can try and go all the way. Few thing. Porn addiction. Death grip. Major asshole. Porn addiction is really dangerous. People like him don't discover sex by exchanging and sharing with someone. They use a media that show fake sex, making them think it's how sex is done. They become really kinky and will force kink into partner. Every experienced people with strong kink will tell you how much preparation, safety and more you need before first time you meet, and you need to handle all that kinky thing that you don't like for him. Evaluate a relationship against, because sexuality is also a part of the way you express a love to someone. And for now the only thing he expressed would be you are a sex toy for his kink. Did he give as much as you? How much did he try to make love with you the way you like it? How much did you try to make love with him the way he like it? How much effort did he put to make you orgasm? How much effort did you put to make him orgasm? Being unable to stay erect could be resolved out of porn and masturbation for 1 to 2 months. Search death grip on Google to learn more about it. That could explain why you seems him hard and getting it when he masturbate online with you. But the biggest problem is clearly not staying erect. How you know he doesn't watch porn anymore, especially with him being so far away. Everything you are describing makes me believe he still does. I haven't for a very long time, and I still suffer from performance anxiety. I get hard during foreplay. I'm turned on by my girlfriend, but when it comes to something like a BJ or actual sex, I get the feeling of needing to do something, and that kills any erection I have. You could be right, but I'd say, don't jump to that conclusion right away. It could be a multitude of things. If he's anxious or nervous about sex, then that will kill his erection. Have an open and honest conversation about his mindset going into actual penetration. Then make sure he's working out at least 3 times a week. Exercise, especially resistance training, really boosts the testosterone levels in a man and makes us perform better. Lastly, make sure he is taking some healthy vitamins like iron for blood cell count, nitrous oxide for blood flow, and tankadali for natural testosterone production. If you follow those steps, I'm sure you'll be alright. I had a long distance relationship with my husband before I moved to his country too. My husband also has very high sex drive, and we did all kind of fantasy stuffs online, but in our first weeks, he couldn't keep staying hard during sex too. I was very upset, and I thought we had to give up sex, but after like a month, everything became normal. This is what my husband said as an advice. Very high possibility you are taking this all too far, and he really hasn't had a lot of sex before meeting you in person. He is used to masturbating and reaching orgasm through those means. Having sex and with/without wearing condoms, another hurdle, is not something he is used to yet. Just give him a chance to get used to not having orgasm by himself, and have him mentally give up masturbating as an option when having sexual relations with him, as his sex drive is not the issue, just not being used to reaching orgasm by non-masturbation. Just going to say the prolonged porn use impact isn't permanent. I went cold turkey and did nothing outside of the bedroom. The first month was difficult. The second and third months I thought my sex drive was dead, and I worried that would be permanent. The fourth month I noticed huge improvements. Still challenges, but I could tell I was getting attuned to normal inputs. I was getting and staying hard with my partner, and it was getting good. But the key is to keep porn out of it, and ideally keep orgasm to the bedroom with each other. Performance anxiety could also be a factor and at play, especially if you've both built it up over months of phone sex. I would also suggest toning the phone sex back, as I think it will function similar to porn. It's very fixable, unless there's another factor, just takes time to reset, and continued avoidance of porn and porn-like influences. Personally, I try not to masturbate more than once or twice a week, the point at which I can masturbate satisfactorily without porn, and only if my partner is not available for sex. This has helped me so much in maintaining a healthy sexuality in bedroom. You need to be patient with him, lead him on. Don't let him be the one who always initiates sex, as he might have sexual anxiety. Do things to stimulate and make him comfortable. Make sure his diet is on point, like less sugar, testosterone giving food, protein, and probably get him to work out. It also helps that he gets good sleep too, because he can't perform if he's tired. And I can't stress any more than this when I say drink water. Lots of it. Does he use drugs? You found a guy on the other side of the world, and he can't keep an erection? Maybe look for a guy nearby. This is receiving a lot of upvotes, but it's kind of toxic when you think it out. This man you have an emotional connection with is broken and worthless because his C** can't stay hard. Trade him in and find one that works. The implication being that a guy's C** is apparently the only thing that makes him worthwhile. Take a week off porn and see what that does. And if he doesn't already, exercise. Those two things combined will definitely help with staying hard and insanely horny. Speaking from experience. Boys/men these days are messed up. Imagine what Instagram has been doing to young girls lately. Porn has been doing that to guys pretty much since the age they learned how to use Google. My advice to you. Don't take this personally. He clearly likes you. It's just that real sex is different because there's so much more happening. Touch, smells, sounds, movement. It's an entirely different experience, and some of that might be too different for him. I feel like the roles are reversing. You know how women always complain about guys not doing enough foreplay, or how women are always saying first you need to turn on my mind. It's guys that need this now. Being sexual and porn star like might seem like the way to step up your game, but I strongly suggest you go the other way. Be slow, loving, relaxed. Kiss him everywhere. Don't focus on his dick. Touch him. Talk to him, and tell him things you like about him. Don't make him feel like you're just desperate to get him hard so you can get fucked. Make him feel comfortable and loved. This may or may not result in him being aroused or having a better erection, but it will be a big step towards him getting there and enjoying you and your relationship more. No, I'm someone who is married 15 years to a past porn addict and have children them. The betrayal trauma I would not wish on anyone. I'm saying get out before she really gets hurt. Her self-esteem, confidence, trust should not be already at risk in a dating relationship. She deserves better. Downvote all you want. I'm the one who has years of first-hand experience and knowledge on porn addiction and betrayal trauma. As already stated in the post, he's dealt with porn addiction and stopped. It doesn't mean it's solved, but regardless there isn't anything he can actively change about it. If a relationship is healthy outside of sexual issues, then that is the thing that needs solving. You don't need to cut things off. He is a good person, it's not that she deserves better. He has performance issues and that's it. They are not derived from her, nor are they some form of manipulation to try and betray her. Most likely it's anxiety from the pressure to perform. Plenty of guys have that issue, and the answer isn't to tell him sorry I can't be with you because you can't perform in bed. His erectile issues have nothing to do with you or anything you do. Men with erectile dysfunction, ED, suffer from severe performance anxiety. He may be able to maintain an erection while masturbating, but will lose his erection when he has to perform for a partner. Approach him with empathy and read up a little on erectile dysfunction. There are medications that can help him. Viagra is the famous one. There is no shame in taking these medications, and there is no shame in having addiction. You guys, and a lot of the commenters here, are reading way too much into this. He just needs to see a doctor and get a prescription for an ed medication. Yes, he should work out his relationship to porn, fantasy, etc. But there's no reason he has to completely reconfigure his psyche before you two can have mutually satisfying sexual relationship. It's due to him still being a porn addict. He can only stay hard when he is watching it. He needs therapy, and to be honest with you,